Hello. Happy Sunday, everybody. Uh, Evidently, I have been given a new nickname in hell. They are calling me, I bet you can guess, Little Miss Sparkles. Really? Right. Yeah, that's my new nickname. Now, nicknames in hell. It just starts out as a joke and then it ends up being something serious, right? Because you know how what humans do, they got a humanoid stuff. So, it's like the character of Lucifer, right? Lucifer, it was it was a joke starting out. Lucid fur. It's just like, a deity goes down and be like, hey, you got some very shiny fur, man. You're a very shiny being there, you got some lucid fur. It was like, ha ha ha, and it ended up being a joke. And also like Satan too, you know. Um, that's another thing. There's no such thing as Satan himself, but there are like levels of demons in there, and there are Satans. Satans are, pretty much the kings. It's just a different title, different name, different religion, different this, different whatever the fuck, and then you just people humanoid stuff, and they take things a little too far. These are nicknames, and now they gave me Little Miss Sparkle. Really? I'm like all like shiny and stuff. So that's fun. If you ever come across, research and stuff like that, and you hear that name, they're talking about me. It's funny as hell, man. Anyway, so I have been bugged and bugged and bugged and bugged enough to, I have to tell you my story. All right. And so I figured I'd finally just go ahead and do it, because I don't know, they're just like, just do it. And I'm like, you're not going to listen anyway, are you? And then I'm like, oh, well, I guess I could just pray. There's somebody out there who might actually listen. I don't know. We'll find out. Anywho, I have been married to, excuse me, to Asmosis for 20 years. Yeah. Asmodeus is what you guys call him anyway. That's his name in your guys' book. So, go away notification. Thank you. That's so annoying. Anyway, crazy story, man. It started like when I was probably around 5 years old. All right, it's true that he likes to gamble. So I was growing up in elementary school in Las Vegas, and that's where I met him. And I used to watch the sunset from my swing set every day because we lived on the very, very edge. It's like the neighborhoods would stop, and then you get desert, So my house was on that very, very, very borderline edge of, Las Vegas. And so we had a real vast backyard where we can just see everything, the stars and the sunset and everything was just amazing. So, and the fact that he's also with the constellation, the bear, he's in that with the whole bear Manor star system. One of those stars up there is his. But, anywho, yeah, so, okay. I was with my little brother one very hot summer. Elementary school days, probably like, it was between first and third grade, but I would have to say that it was first or second grade, probably this summer after first grade. My little brother and I were in the woods, no, in the desert, just looking through shit, right? Doing what kids do, really. And so our backyard's this big ass desert, so And we saw the shadow thing. Just a shadow. It was like peek peek. Far, far, far away, right? And then it went boop, 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 boop. You know, it was like coming closer to us, but it was like all zigzagging. And we were all like, you know, we're really young, like 6, 7, 8 years old or something like that. And this thing just comes at us, and we're like, okay, I think we should probably go home now. Yeah, this thing is like a little freaky, so we just like started bolting home, make it back home, and anyway, I guess for like a couple years it was bothering him or something like that. I found out later on, but it never left me. All right, never. All right. This motherfucker called me on the phone when I was in elementary school, all right? Talking about how, all right, it was kind of like, help me, you need to come outside, right? Blah, blah, blah. And, you know, and like, I was like, no, you know, because I was just like a little kid. It's like, what am I going to do? I can't help out a full-grown adult. And why the hell are you outside of my door calling me, asking for help, and say, all I have to do is come outside, right? I'm a little girl. Anyway, yeah. My stepdad answers the phone once, right? Because they worked nights in Las Vegas, and my parents did, so they slept all day. And so, anyway, he gets pissed. He's like, who the fuck keeps calling, you know? And he was just, and this thing's like, rah, 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 come outside, rah, rah. And so he opens the door, and he sees this demon, right? He fucking freaks the fuck out, right? Anyway, evidently, I no longer have to walk to school ever again, because it was just like the most, he's like, you got a demon stalker, you know? And ever since then, I was cursed, you know? So, it was nuts crazy. But yeah, that's how I met Asmosis. Later on, I found out that a lot of these things, they're like, they call them also jinns, horizon demons, stuff like that. But this particular one was actually him. All right. I guess he knew who I was. Even as a kid, he knew who I was going to grow up to be and stuff like that. So it was just like, I'm going to torment this. Anyway. So, that is the beginning of the story anyway. So I'm going to have to continue on later on, because it really, 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 really is a very, 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 very bad story. And a lot of people died. A lot of the story of Sarah and Asmosis is very much so pretty much like my story. All right. Also, so if you know that story, then you know why I have to be alone. And seriously alone. I don't have any friends, don't have any family, don't have nobody at all. I have my kids, but that's different, and that's a real big, a lot of energy goes to protection on their part. So, anyway, yeah. And that is why all my relationships failed and stuff. They're all either dead or worse, it's just how it goes, So, I know that there's lonely people out there in the world, but, it took me a really, 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 really long time to come to acceptance of the fact that it's just, if I'm going to have a guy friend or even a friend at all, they're going to have to be really understanding of the situation, or be exceptionally powerful. And that's just what it is, because, the king of hell, king of demons, just so happens to be my, anyway, we're divorced, by the way, just saying. Anyway, it's crazy. Crazy. If you really want to humanoid this type of stuff, that's exactly where it is. So, anywho, now, the lesson for today. Let's go for a lesson. Just for a little tiny lesson. What I'm going to actually do. So, for this, I'm going to switch hats. Maybe go with this one. Let's try this one. Yeah. Let's go with this one. All right. Lesson. Deo. Deo, Teo, and Leo. Now, Deo, of course, everybody knows the song from Beetlejuice. Deo, Deo. Yes, daylight comes and you want to go home. Now, Deo, D-A-O, is a symbol, all right? It's kind of like, it's when you crack open an egg and the yolk comes out and stuff like that. This cracked open egg represents Deo. And it also represents the sunrise, Deo. And now this yolk represents the river. It's like a golden bridge of, eureka, knowledge. It's an epiphany. It's like this brilliant idea that's just gonna be like pajam, the invention of the car, the invention of this or that, or a great story or something like that, you know what I'm saying? That's Deo. And so now also the morning star on this Deo thing is also relevant too. This is what the A is. I can't really get into too much detail because I don't know if it's in the bag of mysteries, and some of those things are kind of sacred, so I don't know if I should really get into too much detail about that. But now let's say the morning, the green flash of the pirate, is pretty much kind of like what it is too. It is that green flash. Now, it is also the Rainbow Bridge. It is also the Emerald City gates through the sun itself. There's all kinds of really meaning, but there is that green door, green Emerald City, green flash, or the green river of the Styx. That's the entrance gate to that underworld, you know what I'm saying? So, and this is where ideas are birthed. They come from this place and they come through the sun. There's a lot of meticulous things that are to this extremely powerful event if you watch the sunrise often. Anyway, and the ancients and of course the sage and stuff, this goes back relatively too, all the way back to the time of, Teo, when he was explaining this in his, philosophy of the sages. So, sages, green, so heart chakras, extremely powerful Taurus fields that we have with our heart chakras and emotions and stuff like that. So, anywho, just FYI, yeah, you want to go home, you might want to go through the sun. Nobody can get to the Father except through the Son. How to get through the Son? You go through Deo. Actually Jesus. So, and you can also consider it being Amen. In the name of Jesus, Amen. Amen. Kind of like Ramon and, Sandalphon and Megatron. And you might want to go through these aeons, because that's pretty much what we are. Just saying. And anyway, little lesson there. Teo, Deo, Leo. It's really cool, man. You want to do some real Gnostic research on the relativity of that versus this infinity is really cool how they all meet up in just the one very, 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 very similar story, all the way from pirate legend and Japanese legend and martial arts and stuff like that. It's all relatively the same story, just different way of being told. That's all, you know. So, anywho, excuse me. I hope you guys have a lovely Sunday. My story's not going to be an easy one to tell, though. I'm just saying. Really, really, really not at all. But hey, if they want me to put it out there, I will, you know. Be married to Osmo. I really want me to tell that story. Anyway, I love you all. Everybody, every single one of you is very important to the collective cosmos. I'll tell you that much. You might want to check yourself and believe it. I love you all. Thank you.